Hey loves, so I really quickly wanted to go over some questions that I've been getting on my email about my services. So we're going to go through each category one by one together so we know what we're talking about. So this way you guys aren't confused or anything about my services and everything else. So in regards to my services, when it comes to specifically uh tarot readings, I'm moving from doing them over the phone, and I will be doing readings on YouTube mainly. So they'll be recorded. So if you book a reading with me, you will get the reading through a YouTube link that I will send to your email after it's been uploaded. The only thing with these tarot readings, especially with the way, all of the booking is set up, is that depending on what's happening and who books like previous to you and stuff like that, because sometimes the readings do go a little bit over, a little bit longer, just because that happens, and you guys know I talk a lot. So because of that specifically, there's gonna be like a little bit of a buffer. So if I have a certain amount booked for a day and you were like the last person and I just couldn't get to you, you will receive it the next day. So you'll have that basically 1 day buffer period. They're in a first come first serve basis. So even if you have an appointment, because those appointments can go a little bit longer than usual, and because it's a YouTube recorder reading, which means I have to wait to upload it anyway, you might get it at a little bit of a later time than you originally so like, let's say if you book at 1 o'clock, don't expect the video to be uploaded at 1 o'clock and the email to be sent to you at like 1:02 or something, because that's not realistic. I'm trying to keep everything in order, but because I've been getting so many bookings, I have had to like kind of like work through a lot of the kinks. So if you do book any of the tarot readings, that's how I'm doing it. It's going to be recorded and it's going to be on YouTube. Now, if you book a astrology reading, that's going to be a little bit different, because I have to have time to study whatever it is that you're sending me. So if you're booking, for example, shadow astrology specifically for looking at the darker aspects of your natal chart, things that you might have opportunities with, how to better work with them, how they can hinder you, how you can basically really how you kind of can work with it in a way that is not like frightening to you. I specifically wanted to put shadow astrology as something that I covered on my on one of my services, because a lot of spirituality has to do with shadow work and healing, a lot of that. And I go over all of that. I go over all of the quote unquote opportunity areas of your chart, and any area where anybody would be like, oh my god, that's such a bad placement or whatever, and I tell you, okay, this is how you better work with it, this is how it's in a good way, or this is, if you're using it in a negative way, this is how it's going to show up. So it's one of my favorite readings to do for people, because it's a very enlightening reading. But shadow astrology, it says it's a 30-minute, but honestly, like, I've done shadow astrology readings and it'll be like 2 hours sometimes. So definitely be mindful booking that. And this is why I'm kind of doing it this way. For all the astrology readings, it will be recorded readings. So I will be sending you the voice recording, not a video recording, not a YouTube video, the voice recording of me doing the reading for your whichever one you book. So I do the synastry readings, natal chart readings, and shadow astrology readings for right now. I'm gonna be adding more to my astrology services, but I'm trying to just kind of like pace myself a little bit before I kind of bombard you guys with stuff. So those are the ones that I have available right now. Shadow astrology, you'll probably get the reading a little bit faster, but it does take basically I try to keep it under 2 days, but I have it on my website. It says 2 to 5 days from the date of your appointment. So if you booked a natal chart reading for to tomorrow at 1 p.m., you're not going to get it at 1 p.m. it's just not realistic because I have to take time to look at your chart. So I have like about a 2 to 5 day buffer period, especially if I have a lot of the same readings booked. I have to study each one, so it does take time. So just keep that in mind when booking. There is like that buffer period, but I do try to get it like at least on the second day, or at least at minimum the third day, just so I can, you know, get you the information that you're seeking. So that's kind of like the only thing. But shadow astrology readings, since I'm not looking at your necessarily, I'm not reading your entire chart because it's not a natal chart reading. I'm just looking at specific aspects of it. It's a little bit faster, so you would probably get that a little bit faster. Synastry readings would take a little bit of time, but they're a lot of fun to do, so they will tend to go a little bit faster as well. But natal chart readings just take a lot of time, because it's just a lot of information, so keep that in mind when booking. For Akashic Records readings, those readings I have to keep on Google Hangouts because I have to talk to you. You have to give me permission to open the records on the phone. It has to be up in the air, so you know you are giving me consent, and the Lords of the Records know that you're giving me consent, and so then I can go ahead and do that work. They will always be either in person. I don't have in-person readings right now because, you know, the Rona. But if I'm doing them in person, or if I'm doing it, you know, on a digital scale, I have to connect with you. I can't just do an Akashic Records reading with you and it be digital, because I need to know what it is that you want to know, and you need to give me consent within that time. And also, there's a healing portion of doing Akashic Records readings. There is a healing portion of it where you do actually have to go in and heal whatever came up within that allotted time. So we have to keep that in mind. So I definitely don't, you know, try to rush that or anything like that. It just comes as it does. And then, yeah, so those are the Akashic Records readings. So I just wanted to be clear on that. Now, the other services that I have on my website, it's spiritual counseling. Now, spiritual counseling, it has to be through Google Hangouts because I do have to check up on you guys. Like the way it's set up, specifically for spiritual counseling and also for consultations, the way it's set up is really about focusing on what's happening to you guys within the time that we have. So specifically for our consultations, that always has to be through Google Hangouts because we need to talk within that moment. For spiritual coaching sessions, including the 3-week spiritual counseling, that has to happen over the phone because I need to check up on you guys on the dates that we have agreed to check up on. Now, for spell work services, you do have to book a consultation before you book the spell work services because I have to do a reading to see if I can even perform anything for you, period. On whether the energy's gonna, like, our energy's gonna work together, and also if it will be successful as well. So the consultation has to be booked before the spellwork services, but the spellwork services will happen in my workspace, in my apothecary space. So it's not gonna be like, I'm not gonna go in your house or anything like that. It's just gonna be in my sacred space, and that's where it will happen. So yeah, so that's pretty much all of my services for right now. I'm probably gonna be adding more services throughout the rest of the year, so just stay tuned. I'll keep you guys updated. I just wanted to do this really short video just to clarify a lot of the things, because I do get a lot of emails asking me questions that are actually already on the website, but I did just recently update, when I relaunched my readings, I recently updated that all tarot readings will be digitally, and they will be posted on YouTube. You'll get a private link to your reading that can only be seen by you, and that way you basically, you know, that's how you're getting your reading. Now, the other thing that is really cool that I don't have on my website because it's exclusive to the patrons on my Patreon, on TigeraGitana Patreon, which if you're interested in joining, the link will be down below in the description box. I do offer a subscription service for readings, specifically for tarot readings. And the only way to get that is through the Patreon. And hilariously enough, which this is definitely like a steal, but the same price of what an intuitive reading with me would cost is the same price for the Patreon subscription membership. So, and you're getting more out of being a patron than just getting one reading, because then you're also getting access to all the workshops, you're getting access to all the posts, all the information, all the Book of Shadows prompts, everything. You're just getting access to a lot more. So it's actually like a pretty good deal. So yeah, that's the only reading in a subscription form that I do that specifically goes with like outside of my website. And those readings will happen at the first of the month. There's a limited availability for how many people can join at that at the last level, at the healer level of my Patreon. That's what that tier is called, the healer. Just I named it the healer because obviously the person that needs to have a subscription reading every single month is gonna want things to be addressed on a consistent basis, so that's why I made it. But those people will get their reading at the first of the month, and it will focus on all aspects of their life, especially what's happening within that month, what they can expect, how their energy is going to be. So it really is a huge general reading, but it targets every single area: mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, financially. So it's a really cool reading that like I specifically have the specific spread that I use for it as well. So yeah, that's the only one that you can get specifically on the first of the month. And it's all out of my website, aside from my website of where I would have my services. So I hope that made sense. I will definitely see you guys in the next video. I'm like editing 2 vlogs. Get hyped, because guess what? My thrift store opened literally like 2 weeks ago, and my mom and my sister and I went to go do, you know, what we do. So you guys can expect a witchy thrift store haul coming up very soon. I just gotta finish editing it. I am editing like 2 vlogs right now, and those things take time. It's really frustrating because I wish I could edit them faster, but I can't. So I'm moving as fast as I can with it, I promise. So yeah, other updates, our weekly healing circle will be happening on Monday, so tomorrow, and we can stick to 7:30. That's fine with me, for tomorrow. And yeah, I hope you guys are ready to have some conversations about what's going on. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I believe that I had to go over. Don't forget to subscribe. Do not forget to hit the bell so you get notified every time I upload as well. And also don't forget to check out the Patreon, because we're always learning and growing over there. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Hopefully, I'm trying to see if I can get the vlog uploaded like next. So crossing fingers. Also, the readings, because I know you're going to be looking for me for the monthly chakra healing videos. I'm going to start working on those tomorrow as well. There's a couple of readings that I have to do, but then I'm just going to start kind of pushing them out like a couple of days early, because if I leave it for a little bit later, it's just, yeah. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.